What is up, guys? California Phantom. I'm back with a new Honda video. If you guys watch any of my stuff, I mainly do camera and drone reviews, so if you're expecting that, go ahead and skip to the next video. This is all about Hondas today. All right, so first things first, on the mod menu today is the shift knob. Now, take a look at this here. This is off the Type R Civic. I'm gonna be converting it to this all metal shifter knob, mainly because the shifter knob that I have is leather. If any of you guys have the manuals off the Honda, for whatever reason, that leather peels away from the center cap, the plastic center cap, exposes that leather, and it just looks god-awful. My car's only a couple years old, but the leather's already coming off. This, fortunately, is the same price as the leather boot, so I figured I can get an upgrade at the same time as future-proofing my car by having it all metal. This is the next part that's gonna be up, and this is something that's gonna interest all of you guys, 10th gen Accord owners, and that is the center console tray. I figured while I'm replacing the shifter knob and the boot, which is required, I might as well replace it with a brand new center console. The one that I have has some damage on the corner. I'm not gonna go into why, but married to an aggressive Latina, that's the end result.
Gets crazy, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get crazy, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get sprayed, I get crazy, I get
damage on the side, so I'm going to be replacing this while I replace the shifter knob and the center boot. So if you're interested in this part, this is the manual. The only difference between the automatic part version of this and the manual is like one letter code. So I'll put the description in the description.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
For both the manual and the automatic. And this is a simple fix. And I want to say this cost about 70 bucks. So this is going to be where you touch the most with your shifter knob and interacting with the cup holders. So it makes sense to replace this after a while, and it's a very simple replacement if you guys are interested. The last part here is the Acuity shift boot holder. This is going to replace the OEM one. We're going to get into why, but it's basically a plastic boot that's not going to be interchangeable with that new knob. And this piece here will allow the boot to sit flush with the knob. It's probably a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit overpriced. I want to say I paid like 38 bucks for this. There are like cheap Chinese variants of this for like 12 bucks on Amazon, but I figured I might as well get the exact right part, exact right fitment. And you know what time it is with these parts, with this trim piece removal. I've been using this since day one on any of my mods, any of my part replacements on the Accord. I got this from Amazon. I want to say I paid about $10 to $15. Again, I'll put the link down in the description. Very, very handy. If you guys plan on working the interior at all or the trunk of your Accord, Civic, virtually any car, you're gonna wanna pick yourself up a trim set, and this is as good as any other trim set that's on the market. All right, so first things first, you're gonna wanna get the this out first. Use this larger trim piece tool remover. And these here are cushioned. These are off the touring model. I'll have the link in the description to buy these. These are a little bit different than the hard plastic. I really like them a lot better because you could, rest your leg up against them and not feel as pain on those long trips like you can on the stock Sport and the regular one. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but there's a little bit of give in there. A lot better trim. Again, part number will be in the description. I'll have all that links for you to be able to pick these up. All right, so I got the other side removed. If you see any jump cuts, it's only because I'm going to be doing the exact same thing as I did on the opposite side. We're going to take this collar off here. How you do that is you pinch just below the plastic ring here, the silver plastic ring, and you find the two little teeth and you just pull down, and that removes that. Very, very simple. Unscrew this by counterclockwise motions, and then you just keep doing it
2,000 years later,
and you will eventually get this knob off. Unfortunately, Honda's made everything proprietary, so they have the little plastic holders. Because of this is why I had to go with the Acuity setup, because unfortunately I can't remove this and use this on the new knob. It'd be nice if you can, but you really can't, so this is garbage. All right, so I found the easiest way of attack is this right-hand side. Pull this up and it slowly walk it all the way to the end. That's the easiest way to remove this piece. In an effort to get this off, you're gonna need to pull up on this till it disconnects from these clips. You don't need to remove the entire thing, but if you pull up once this trim is out and you lift up on it, you get enough clearance so that this thing can come out easily. Once you lift these up, this should slide out from underneath this. Again, you don't need to pull this all the way out, just enough to remove the clips, because this black tabs here slide underneath that. So remove this or lift this up, then pull these out and it slides right out. Since I'm replacing the centerpiece entirely, you're gonna have to unclip a few things, but more importantly, unscrew some others, because you're disconnecting the boot from this plastic piece, as well as the electronics, because it's going to be going onto a new board. So just go ahead and remove the screws to the boot and remove the screws around this electronic chamber. All right, so removed the screws from here, just around this area. You have, looks like 2 down here and 1 at the top. This removes all the electronic components and the unit just comes right out. You don't need to unsnap any clips or anything like that. It's pretty simple screws, the whole unit pops out. So you want to get extra careful when you're removing this zip tie. The zip tie goes around the collar here. Just be as careful as you can to remove this guy, and then that way when you free the leather boot strap from this shifter column, it'll remain intact. All right, so I put the Acuity in the shift boot. I just need to zip tie it from the bottom. Get this guy a little bit more wrapped up and make sure this is zip tied correctly so that this guy is not coming off. All right, so we're back in the office. I have to apologize. I ran out of battery on my primary unit. I didn't have any charged. Things that I've learned since doing or cutting off the screws, all the screws that I said, the 6 screws, those only take off these trim pieces. So if you've damaged a trim piece like I did, I actually damaged one, which is why I wanted to bring or replace the center console to begin with. You don't have to replace the entire center console. You can order just these plastic pieces. This is actually where I damaged mine, right on the edge there. So I'm sure it's a lot cheaper. I'll have the description as well as the part number for this particular piece of plastic. So if you do want to replace this, it's probably cheaper. significantly, but for the $70 to have the entire unit replaced as well as these, it's not that bad either. So if you're doing the job, you're trying to mimic the knob job, don't take off the screws. As I said, I'll indicate it in the video, you don't need to remove the screws unless you are replacing these side trim pieces. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment down below letting me know if you got any useful information from this. If you're a 10th gen Civic owner, if you're a 10th gen Accord owner, will this help you in replacing your shift knob? I always love hearing from you guys. We'll catch you on the next adventure.